ASUS ROG Strix Z390 Gaming Motherboard Review. Intel's new Z390 chipset has pushed motherboard companies to refresh their entire Intel Z370 product portfolio, ASUS included. A lot has been learned from the prior generation and during the last 12 months about a changing market appetite for high-quality VRM solutions and increased consumer awareness of technical elements of motherboard design. ASUS has released its new ROG Strix Z390 gaming motherboard into this market with a brave new slant on VRMs. The new ASUS ROG Strix Z390 gaming has a distinctly different look to its predecessor, the ROG Strix Z370 gaming. There's new heatsinks designs all around for the CPU VRM, chipset and M.2, as well as some of the benefits of the new Z390 chipset over older Z370. These include USB 3.1 support and 802.11 GHz Wi-Fi direct from the chipset, whereas on Z370 these things had to be added separately at additional cost. That aside, the feature level isn't all that different from its predecessor, and ASUS pitches the E model as a mid-range option based on its asking price, around $220 UK and $240 USA at the time of writing. The main change for ASUS with Z390 is a shift in VRM design that runs almost contrary to growing consumer understanding and media opinion of motherboard VRMs, that more real phases are better and doublers are better than no doublers. ASUS is moving away from having doublers on its VRMs to using less phases and doubling up the number of MOSFETs, drivers, inductors and capacitors per phase. The way this takes shape on the ROG Strix Z390 gaming is with a 4+2 phase design that uses 8 phases worth of MOSFETs, drivers, chokes and capacitors for those 4 CPU phases. ASUS has avoided major controversy in this instance because consumers appear to have lost interest in the topic as it has happened so frequently. At present, the company has opted out of advertising the VRM of this motherboard, and similar motherboards, as an 8-phase design. Though it has been rumored online that ASUS was previously marketing these boards as 8-phase products, before quietly amending the product pages, though we've seen no proof of this, so they remain just rumors. ASUS has been fairly quiet about the situation and why it has taken this approach, but ASUS ROG Motherboard R&D collaborator Elmer shared some information suggesting that this solution can actually be better than an 8-phase based on doublers. The 8-phase solution based on doublets with interleaving is dubbed an extended 8-phase VRM, and the solution based on 4 PWM signals each with 2 phases worth of components per phase is labeled a twin 8-phase. The testing results of the twin 8-phase solution suggests an improved transient response and as a result less voltage drop between load switching. The mid-range Republic of Gamers motherboards from ASUS have always been a safe and reliable choice for their respective platforms, and the ASUS ROG Strix Z390 gaming does nothing to buck that trend. By no means is this the most affordable motherboard on the market for its performance and feature set, but the ROG brand has never been about hitting budget price points. Indeed, the Z390 gaming is about a sensible blend of features and connectivity, built into a refined package that would cater for a majority of prospective Z390 buyers and PC gamers. It's mid-range in most senses with a standard amount of connectivity, ample USB of all generations, 6 SATA 3 ports, dual M.2, wired and wireless networking, high-quality audio and some onboard diagnostics for a trouble-free building experience. The aesthetic design is pleasing, almost neutral, and there is ample RGB connectivity for customization. The VRM design, even after all the discussion that has surrounded it, appears to be a solid VRM implementation that delivers ample power for the overclocking needs of the majority of prospective buyers. Our testing found them to be stable, no performance, power or thermal throttling under extended loading, and perfectly sufficient for getting the most out of our CPU, as well as efficient. While we weren't able to record any VRM temperatures, ASUS caters to the temperature-conscious audience with the provision of a small fan to provide additional airflow over the VRM areas. The heatsinks are sizable enough and given a decent ambient airflow level within a suitable PC case, There shouldn't be overheating regardless of whether the extra VRM fan is used. One issue that we found was that the Aura RGB software didn't work during our review testing. ASUS UK provided sufficient evidence that it was able to get the same software configuration working with the sample we encountered problems with. Thus we can likely put this down to an undiscovered compatibility quirk with our particular setup, such as the Windows 10 image we were using. Any automatic updates Windows had applied, some of the drivers or applications we benchmark with, or some other unknown incompatibility. We did, however, notice that older versions of Aura RGB software, January 6, 2017 in particular, worked where the new versions on the product page download didn't. Given the rather lengthy 18-page and growing forum thread on issues with version January 7, 2022, we suspect that more users might encounter problems with newer versions than the older ones. ASUS evidently has some software development work still to do to make the Aura application more robust. The fact the VRM is only a 4-phase for the core, even if it has 8 phases worth of components, may continue to be a sticking point to many prospective buyers, where the number of phases being higher is seen as better, and doublers are seen as better than no doublers. The conclusion for the ASUS ROG Strix Z390 gaming isn't that different to the Z370 equivalent. This is a good overall motherboard, but it feels slightly light on features given its price point and is low on excitement and innovation for something that carries the ROG banner. The ASUS ROG Strix Z390 gaming has a retail price of $227.99 in the UK at Overclockers UK and is usually sold with a 3-year warranty. In the USA it can be had for $239.89 at Amazon and usually has a 3-year warranty. Pros: ample fan headers, good USB provision, LED expansion headers, onboard Wi-Fi, dual cool DIMM.2 slots, diagnostic LEDs, MMOK switch, neutral styling, high quality audio implementation, supplementary VRM fan accessory. Cons: only a 4-phase VRM, only one onboard RGB lighting zone, compatibility issues with new versions of Aura RGB software,